Well, hey there. Welcome into the Ben Maynard program. Thanks for being here. It's Friday night and we're live. Yes, we are. Let me see. Let me do something here. Let me get this going right there. Oh, man. All right. Let's do that. And then you know what? My color's all messed up. See what happens here? Some of this stuff, I think it just resets itself. I don't know. Let's look here. Let's see what we got. See if we can change this. Show. Hide. Producing on the fly, right? I always check this stuff beforehand. There we go. That's not what I want. That's what I want. Yeah, I always check this stuff beforehand. And when I was testing everything, it was fine. Okay, I think we're back in business now. Wait, let's go bubble. Yeah, that's what we want. But, we haven't been up here in a week. And I don't know what's going on. I think sometimes this stuff just resets itself. Let's put the comments on the screen. There we go. Oh, there it is. Because when I was checking the camera and the mics, which I do before every show, I come up here and check everything, make sure that it sounds like I'm screaming into the microphone, and that I look halfway decent, whatever. The name and the banner on the screen was blue. And then as soon as I hit record and go live, it's black. I don't know why. I have no idea why. So anyway, welcome in. Thanks for sharing your Friday evening with me. This is Friday night. We are live. But before we can start, we have to take care of a little bit of business first. All right. So let's do that right now. Get it out of the way and get on with the fun. So as you know, this program is available on all the streaming platforms. Okay. Wherever you get your podcast, that's where the Ben Maynard program is. Okay. Just search it. You'll find it. There it is. And I think you can subscribe to it on each of the streaming services. So if you can, just do it. Please subscribe to the program there on whatever streaming service you use, and you'll get notifications every time a new episode is posted. And if you are here tonight, which we're live, so you would be here because you wouldn't be hearing this on any of the streaming services, not live. So you're here on YouTube watching this live, this train wreck. But if you are, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. You just have to do a couple of things for me. First, you have to subscribe to the channel, okay? And then hit the notification bell so that you'll get all the notices when a new episode is ready to go. Secondly, give me a thumbs up. Come on, I deserve it. I really do. Work hard at this, And then last but not least, leave me a comment. I like the comments. I reply to your comments. And then you can follow me on Instagram as well. All one word, Ben Maynard Program. I would certainly appreciate all of that. So there are plenty of ways to take in this show for your dancing and listening pleasure. And with that, it is Friday. We are live as I stomp the floor. Yeah. Little bit different look, yes. Here in the studio this evening. I came in here a couple hours ago, and I've got various camera mounts in the studio here, and I've never used them, but I put them up because I thought at some point I might be able to do, multi-camera stuff, and maybe somewhere down the road we'll do that, but it's not happening right now. But I saw the one camera mount over here to my left, and I thought, hey, you know what? Let me put the camera on there and see what it looks like, and we'll get into the studio from a different angle. And so here we are. So that's, it's nothing special, but that's what I'm doing tonight, and there you go. So let's get into this. It's going to be a normal Friday Night Live. We'll have the Malort Challenge. What does that mean? That means if you call into the program, I have to take a drink of this delicious here, worst tasting liquor ever, Malort. It's nasty stuff, but I do it to uh, get you to engage into the program. And it's right here. I take that shot right here in my Mr. Spock shot glass. Been sitting here in the studio for a while, just collecting dust. I did throw a what do you call a bean boozled bean? Threw one in here. I just grabbed one. I wasn't trying to be picky or anything. I have a feeling this one's going to be hot. I just do. I think I had taken at one point I had taken a box of the hot ones. They have several different I don't know, varieties of these bean boozled beans, and I think I'd taken a box of the hot ones, the spicy ones, and I mixed it with the one that I already had, and so I think that's what I pulled out. But anyway, so that's the Malort Challenge. Call in. The phone number is right here at the bottom of the screen. And if you do that, then I've got to take a shot of Malort. We'll also play Stump the Chump. If you have any music trivia, you can call in. And if I get it wrong and you stump me, well, then again, I have to take a shot of Malort. It's not a drinking show. It's not even a drunk show. It really isn't. Just something to get a little participation. That's all. All right. That's what morning radio shows have done forever. Is they do dumb, silly things to get the audience to engage. And so there you go. You know I love radio. You know who my morning show heroes are. And so I'm just falling right in line. All right. Now, a couple of things today. Today is National Sticky Bun Day. Now, I didn't realize that until roughly an hour ago. So I hollered to Catherine to get in the truck and drive to the mall and grab me a Cinnabon. And she basically told me to go fly a kite with a hole in it. So I don't think I'm getting my sticky bun tonight. Bummer. Oh. Cinnabons. Come on. They're the best. You know that. Cinnabons are so good. And when we don't go to the mall very often, but when we do, we have to. We have to stop by Cinnabon, and then we'll get like a half a dozen in a big old giant box, and couple extra cups of the frosting, the cream cheese frosting. Oh my gosh, that stuff is so good. And then I'm paying for it, for the next few days because I'm feeling all heavy and full, and oh my gosh, all this sugar, which I have a sweet tooth, but I have to work extra hard in the gym right there, right next door. So today is National Sticky Bun Day. If you're out having a Cinnabon, awesome. If you had one, great. I hope you enjoyed it. And tomorrow, this is what's do I sound nasally? I think I sound a little. My nasal passages are pretty clear, but for some reason, to me, at least it's coming back in my ears that I sound a little nasally. So if I do, my apologies. We're only here for like an hour, so don't even sweat it. It's no big deal. Besides, it's just you and I. Nobody out there's watching. Nobody out there's listening. So, but tomorrow is National Margarita Day. That's cool. Not for me, because I'm not a margarita guy, but Catherine loves her margaritas. She loves margaritas, and we've got plenty of tequila downstairs in the house, and we've got lots of agave nectar, so we're good there. And we've got fresh lime juice, so we're good there. We've got everything we need to have a couple of margaritas tomorrow. So we probably will. And we have a very busy day. Very, very busy day tomorrow. What do we have going on? We've got a grandparenting seminar early in the morning at church, but we can't stay. That's why I said it's busy. We're just running. So we're going to stay as long as we can at that, probably only about 90 minutes. Then I've got a haircut at 10:30, and then we have the Whittier High School alumni luncheon tomorrow at 1:00. And then my buddy Darren is coming over. He's going to come over tomorrow evening. We're just going to have a guys' night, him and I. I don't know if I've shared with you, but he's getting married next Saturday. And he asked me to be his best man. So, yeah, I talked to him. When did I called him. Well, I talked to him today. We talk on a fairly regular basis, but it was, I don't know, a couple, 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago. And I called him and I asked him, I said, so look, we're both far too old for bachelor parties and all that kind of stuff. What do you want to do? And he says, no, we're not doing any of that dumb stuff, and he says, I don't know. We don't have to do anything. And I said, no. We've got to do something. And he says, I don't know, maybe we'll just go, let's go have a good steak dinner. All right, done. So that I had that in my mind. Okay, we're going to go have a nice steak dinner. I got the place picked out already. It's like my favorite steakhouse ever in the history of ever. And so that's what was, what I was thinking about. And I think it was Tuesday. Yeah, it was Tuesday. I'm at work and I happen to be making a delivery to Buca di Beppo. And that's an Italian restaurant for those of you who may not know, but most of you probably figured that sounded pretty Italian, right? So I'm making a delivery to Buca di Beppo, and I walk in the kitchen, and I was like, whoa, man, I haven't experienced this smell in a while. Maybe that's what we're going to do. Let's do that instead. So I called Darren. I said, hey, you sure you want that steak dinner? Look, I was thinking about this. And he says, look, let's just have some pizza and beer. All right, that's it. And I don't drink beer, so that's going to be easy. So he says, let's just have some pizza and beer, man. That's going to be so cool. I said, all right, well, we'll just do it right here at the house. He says, yeah, let's just do it at the house. We're just going to hang out. A couple of guys, we'll have some pizza, we'll have some beer, just whatever. Sit out on the patio, get a fire going. It's all good. All right. That's what we got going. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a busy day. I'm going to be whooped. I am going to be whooped by the end of it. But it's all right. It's cool. So you know what? Today is February 21st, and got some birthdays that I want to run past you. The first one is actor Alan Rickman. Does everybody remember Alan Rickman? He was played Hans Gruber in Die Hard. And then, he's done a whole lot, but kind of like the big roles that come to mind. And I know he was in the Harry Potter movies, but I never saw any of the Harry Potter movies, so I wouldn't even know his character. In fact, I don't remember his character in this movie, Galaxy Quest. Remember Galaxy Quest? Was kind of a spoof on Star Trek, a little bit. Tim Allen, Sigourney Weaver, Alan Rickman. Uh, who else? Tony Tony Shalhoub, isn't that his name? I think that's his name. The guy who plays Monk. Yeah, and somebody else too. Somebody else. Darn it, I can't recall her name. Anyway, it was a good movie. It was a funny movie. Anyway, Alan Rickman was in that. Well, he passed away, in 2016. He was only 69 years old, but today would have been his birthday. He would have been 78. So rest in peace, Alan Rickman, and happy birthday to you. But a very special happy birthday to my cousin Sharon. Today's her birthday. So happy birthday to you, cousin Sharon. She lives in West Virginia. So I know she's not up watching this. I've actually asked her before, hey, because when I send out I make the post on Facebook and I put out the notification, let everybody know that we're going to go live. She likes almost every single one, and so I kind of comment to her. I said, instead of liking it, why don't you just watch it? And she's like, oh no, it's past my bedtime. So you can stay up for a couple of minutes. Come on. Yeah, guess not, huh? Fat chance. Well, anyway, so happy birthday, cousin Sharon. And hang on. I feel like I sound nasally. I feel like my throat is dry. What's going on here? I'm not even sick. Tomorrow, not only is it National Margarita Day, but tomorrow is George Washington's birthday. Yes, the first president of the United States of America, the father of our country. It's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And one of my favorite radio talk show hosts is he's been trying to get to George Washington all week long. Well, I think he hasn't been able to do it. So I'm going to have to wait till Monday. He's going to do a big thing on George Washington. So I can't wait. Cannot wait. Good stuff. So happy birthday to you, George, father of our country. So last week, Spaz was on, my buddy Spaz. Everybody knows that. Show's out there. It's doing pretty well. Yeah, it's doing pretty well. We talked about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees. We went over the whole list of 14 of them. And if you want, I'll remind you who they are. And then I'll get into this discussion a little bit. So, Bad Company, the Black Crowes, Mariah Carey, Chubby Checker, Joe Cocker, Billy Idol, Joy Division / New Order, Cyndi Lauper, Maná, Oasis, Outkast, Fish, Soundgarden, and the White Stripes. So those are the nominees for this year. And we went through the list, and we, just as if we were part of the voting body, and we selected the ones that we felt should be inducted this year. We had a lot of discussion. It was good, man. It was such good discussion. And you know what? Spaz is so awesome. He's just so awesome. And I mean, we could, when we got done recording the show, we just started listening to music up here, and that's it, and so it was just one of those things. I don't have my stereo in the studio, so we couldn't go out into the loft where the stereo is and just start putting stuff on. But so I just grabbed my phone and we just start hitting stuff, start listening to it. Hey, check this one out. Check this one out. So it's always good to hang out with Spaz. It's great to have him over, and he just does it on like no notice. He's so good like that. I remember a week ago Wednesday, when the nominees were announced, I waited till they were announced. And then I said, okay, boom, we're doing this. So I texted him, hey, what are you doing Friday? Can you come in studio and talk about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees? He was like, hey, just let me know anytime. Just like that. Boom. So he's always very accommodating. Yeah. So we just had a good time. Like I said, we had some really, really good discussion about these nominees. So where I'm going with it is that I didn't catch all the details. I tried to look it up and I couldn't find it anywhere. But for those of you who don't know, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame does they allow the fans to vote for who they want to see in also. And I think you go on their website and you can vote for, whomever you want on the ballot, and they allow you 7 votes, which is what the voters get. And it's just to create some interaction with the fans. And then it really doesn't make any difference as far as getting an artist or a band into the Rock Hall, because and you'll see numbers that are incredible, a couple 100,000 for a particular artist. Not yet, because it just started, but at some point, you'll have 1 or 2 artists that'll be over 100,000 votes or a couple 100,000 votes. I think the most I've ever heard of was like over 300,000 votes for a particular artist. I don't remember who, but all that said, that only counts for 1 vote. So the fans get a sort of a say-so, but they get however many millions of people vote, it counts for 1 vote. And what they do is I think they take the top 7 off of that, and they count for 1 vote for each of those artists. So they make it sound like it's so important, and the bands or the artists, their management companies or record companies, they start, trying to get fan engagement. Hey, go vote for your favorite band, go vote for this band, that, whatever it is. And, they want you to rally behind them, and that's fun. It's cool. Like I said, it creates a little bit of buzz, that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, all those votes count 1 time. So 1 member of the voting body, they equal. They're equal votes. So the thing that I would think that maybe it could make a little bit of difference if the members of the voting body, or just a particular member, they see where the fan vote is going, and they might say, oh, well, X artist has so many votes, they're number 1, so the fans definitely want to see that artist get in. And maybe it could sway a voter in that direction, maybe a little bit. But like I said, it only counts as 1 vote. So it's not, so everybody gets all crazy about it. Oh my gosh, so-and-so has X number of thousands of votes. And, but still only counts as 1. But so this fan voting started this week, and there's some just preliminary, some early numbers, and I don't have them. I heard them, but I don't have them because I tried to look it up, and I'm not the greatest And so at searching for things, so I wasn't able to find it right now. But I can say that, let me go back to the nominees here. I can say that right now, in the early fan voting, our boys from Mana are not doing so well. I know they're bringing up the rear, and I think who was next up after that? I believe I'm looking at the list right here. I believe it was that that bastion of rock, Mariah Carey. I believe she was next up, and so they're not getting a lot of love from the fans right now. The one I know that the couple of acts that are doing quite well as far as the fan voting are Bad Company. They're doing pretty well. They're like in the top 5. So you're in the top 7. That would be like I said, equal to the voting body. But so Bad Company's doing pretty well. Chubby, did I get numbers on Chubby Checker? I don't recall. I don't recall getting numbers on Chubby Checker or Joe Cocker. I know Billy Idol's doing really well. Cyndi Lauper's doing really well. I think Soundgarden was doing pretty well. But the one that, as far as the fan voting is concerned, the band that's doing the best, and they have like twice as many fan votes as any other artist or band, is Fish. And we talked about it a little bit last week, Spaz and I did. I don't believe, if I remember correctly, I don't believe either of us voted for Fish. I know I didn't, because I'm looking at my pretend ballot right here. So, but the fans are rabid. I mean, they are just bananas over this band. So it kind of makes sense. I mean, a band much like the Grateful Dead, where their fans travel. They travel wherever the band is. That's where they are. And so, yeah, it just kind of makes sense that that's the way it's kind of looking so far. But we were, Spaz and I, we talked about some snubs for the Rock Hall. And I know I think I brought up about 7 of them. What did I bring up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I brought up 9. Well, I left some off. I was thinking this week, and I thought, a friend on Facebook had posted something about Ted Nugent, and once again getting snubbed by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And Ted Nugent is so very deserving of being in the Rock Hall. In the 70s, when he was a solo act, Ted was an arena sellout. When they had these big festival shows in stadiums, he was a stadium act as well. He would always be like second from the top of the bill. So, when you're that high on the bill, that means you can support a good crowd. Lot of big songs, tremendous airplay on rock radio. But the thing that kills Ted, and look, I think if you asked Uncle Ted if he was upset that he was snubbed once again, and if he ever cares about getting into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I won't repeat. I won't try to say what his response would be, but basically it would be no. He doesn't care at all. It doesn't bother him whatsoever. And he would probably say something like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame can, take their hall and, stick it where the sun doesn't shine. I'm sure something like that. But he definitely is deserving of it. The problem is, and I don't know. Well, the problem for him, I don't know why it's a problem, but the problem for him is just he's such an outspoken person, an outspoken conservative as far as his politics are concerned. And of course, yes, he's a big hunter as well. He always has been an outdoorsman. And I don't know. I think the way that I've heard him in interviews before, and I think the way he talks about it, for some reason, I think that turns people off. It doesn't turn me off at all. There's no cruelty in anything that he's doing when it comes to hunting. If you understand anything about hunting throughout the nation, maybe even the world, I know here, the reason why we have hunting season for certain animals is to thin the herd, so we don't get overrun by bears or deer or whatever it might be. So that's why, and a season is only so long, for whatever animal it is. But Ted doesn't hunt for sport. Ted hunts for food. And I just think it's a beautiful thing. He is so charitable. I heard him one time. He said that his charity donates like in upwards of like 1 million pounds of meat to like veterans organizations, stuff like that. So I mean, he's feeding people, and it's not like it's not barbaric or anything like that. He eats what he hunts or what he kills, and I don't know, for some reason, I think the because the fact that he's a hunter. Sorry about that. If you're listening to my iPad go off, I apologize. I silenced my phone, but the iPad I didn't. But I think between the hunting and the conservative view on his politics, just seems to rub people the wrong way, especially in the the nominating and voting body of the Rock Hall. So it's a shame. It's a shame. Ted should definitely be in the Rock Hall. It should have been a long time ago. I just don't think it's ever going to happen. Another band that I failed to mention, and they've been on the ballot a couple of times, and they couldn't care less about getting in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and that's Iron Maiden. I mean, when they I don't remember if they were on the ballot last year, but I know they were on the ballot 2 consecutive years. I just don't remember what years it was off the top of my head. But when they were nominated and on the ballot, they did absolutely no press at all. No interviews, which a lot of artists do. They get on the ballot and then they start doing all the radio shows and other outlets, they're just out campaigning a little bit, nothing wrong with that, but you hear a lot about it. And the only guy from the band who did an interview was Dennis Stratton, who hasn't been in the band in like 45 years. I think he was on the first album. He was one of the guitarists on the first Iron Maiden album, which I believe was like 1980, I think. And that was it. And he did an interview. He was included in the possible inductees, which we kind of touched on last week about that as well. We don't, as far as the ones nominated this year. Have no idea who it includes when it comes to each individual artist or band, but he was included with the Iron Maiden nomination, and he was the only one that did any type of interview at all. The rest of the band said they weren't doing anything, and they couldn't care less. If they got in, they weren't even going to show up, so it didn't really matter. But still, they deserve to be in. Gosh, who else? Those two came really quick after I brain farted last week over it. Let me take a sip of water. I'm getting a little dry here. You know why? I'm getting dry because no one is calling in, taking up some of this airtime. So I'm the only one talking. Mm. I'm looking at the studio wall while I'm drinking water, and I see my boys from Bohemian Queen, and they had a busy weekend last week. Yeah, they were doing shows Friday night, Saturday, and they did a private party on Sunday. They were busy. Their private party was like, I don't know, 20 minutes from the house here, but I couldn't go because it was a private party. Anyway, great guys. Great guys. So this is kind of exciting. I like this. Next Friday, I'm going to, for the first time in, how long has the Ben Maynard program been on the air? Or been on the air? Kind of on the air, right? How long has the Ben Maynard program been in existence? Since October of 2023. So, I mean, close to a year and a half. What, a year and 4 months, year and 5 months or so, whatever, something like that. In that time, I have yet to be a guest on another podcast. And next Friday, for the first time, I am going to be the guest on a podcast. I'm looking forward to it. It's you're going to have a good time. It's my friend Larry Reidy's podcast. His podcast is called it's called Larry Reidy's America. That's what it's called. Larry Reidy's America. And same thing as this podcast here. It's available everywhere. Has his own website. Just look up Larry Reidy's America. You can get his podcast that way on the website, or you can just go to whatever streaming outlets you use, or wherever you get your podcast. That's where his is available. But if you remember, he was on the show last year for Veterans Day when we did the Veterans Day weekend stuff. And he lives in Batesville, Indiana, so he's, we've got a 3-hour time difference. But a few, 3-4 weeks ago, he sent me a text, and he asked me to put together a list of like 10 favorite songs and 10 favorite movies. And he was going to do 2 separate podcasts. And at that time I said, hey, I can call in with my list. And he said it wasn't going to work because he had some other guests on. I think he had two or three other buddies on, and they all had their list of 10 songs. But when he does that, he doesn't record at home in his studio. He takes it out on the road. And he said where he was recording at that time, he said the cell phone reception is terrible. It wasn't going to work. So okay, that's fine. But I sent him my list of my 10 songs. And then I sent him the movies as well. And so that episode was on last week, the one with the 10 songs. I think the one with the movies just posted this week. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. So they went through, and each guy talked about his songs and so on and so on and so on. And so then Larry gets in touch, and he says, hey, we can do, your podcast is, you talk a lot of music, you have some knowledge on music, blah blah blah. He says, yeah, let's just do this together. And so he gave me some days to pick. And of course, look, Larry's 86. He's retired. Larry can do whatever he wants. I'm not yet. So they're all during the week. And it was like, oh my gosh. So fortunately, I'm not working next Friday. So I called Larry, said, hey, does next Friday work? He says, yeah, sure. All right. So first he says, all right, well, you want to do it around what time did he say? Oh, he says, you want to do it around 11 o'clock your time? And I said, Larry, I said, I get up at 1:30 in the morning. I'm at work at 3 o'clock in the morning. I said, don't worry, let's just do it in the morning. Oh, well, okay, all right. Says, how about 10 o'clock my time, 7 your time? I said, 7 o'clock's perfect. So for the first time ever, I get to be a guest on another podcast. So I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to talk some music. Larry's going to send me some stuff that he wants me to check out and listen to. Because like I said, he's 86 years old. Our music tastes are going to be so different. But I know we do have some common ground, though. So that's going to be fun, too. We'll get to talk about our differences, and we'll get to talk about the stuff that we have in common and just go from there. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to that. No, I'm not. I'm not even gonna tell you my list. I'm not even gonna tell you my list. If you want to know my list, oh, you know what? Nah, well, okay. All right. I'm gonna give you the list. Where is it? Oh yeah, there it is. I'm gonna give you the list from 10 to 1. And the way I told Larry, I wanted you to listen, and I still want you to listen to Larry's podcast next week or whenever it posts. I'll let you know when it posts. But I may not go over these 10 songs. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go. So I'll give it to you now. I know you're just like on the edge of your seats, right? I can tell. So I'll preface this by saying that, and I'll tell you what I told Larry. This list of 10, is it my top 10 favorite songs of all time? I don't know. I don't think so. But this top 10 list here is like the perfect beginning to a long playlist that you can put together and listen to while you're like out doing the yard or just doing whatever you're doing. It's just it's a great, I think it is. I think it is. So, and that's what I like to do. I put playlists together, and you know me, I'm a physical guy. I like physical product. I like my music to come in a physical form so I can hold it, I can smell it, I can, really look at it. But for convenience, I, will listen to it on my phone. I've got my AirPods in and, doing that. And it's just out of convenience. So, okay. So let's do this. So from 10 to 1, that's where we're going with this list. My top 10, get down doing your yard work and other chores around the house playlist. Okay. At number 10 is Gypsy from Uriah Heep. It's off of the Live 1973 album. I think when I did my Uriah Heep top 20, I told you Gypsy and July Morning would flip flop, just depending on my mood. And man, it's a great, great, great version. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Number 9 is Deuce from Kiss off of Alive 3. Okay, off of Alive 3. That's my favorite version of that song. Where's 8? There's 8. Number 8, The Tower from My Boys, Angel. Love those guys. Love that band. God, love that band. So good. So good. And they're celebrating their 50th anniversary 50th anniversary this year. So I'll be there. And I'm gonna try to take Spaz because he's not even familiar with Angel. So I'm gonna try to take Spaz and see if he wants to go, and maybe we'll get a VIP meet and greet or something like that. That would be so awesome. Anyway, so The Tower from Angel off of their debut album. Number 7 is I Need You from Foreigner off of the debut album. Is that number 7? Yeah, it is. Number 6, Fantasy from Aldo Nova off of the debut album. Number 5, Higher Place from Journey off of the Arrival album. Number 4, again, My Boys from Loverboy with Turn Me Loose. That's off of their debut album. Let me see. What else we got here? Number 3. There it is. Number 3, Double Vision from Foreigner off of the Double Vision album. Number 2, Edge of the Blade from Journey off of Frontiers. And my number 1 song is Message of Love from Journey off of the Trial by Fire album. So that's the top 10 on my, like I said, working in the yard or whatever it is, you're doing, getting all your stuff done playlist. All right. I mean, that's just like the start of it. And if you didn't have pen and paper, get some pen and paper, rewind this a little bit and write those down. Great stuff. Great stuff. Just letting you know. It's the way it is. Okay. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to getting on Larry's podcast next week, and we'll talk some music and have a little bit of fun. It's all good stuff. So I think, like I said, I wanted to do something a little bit different here in the studio tonight. So you're looking at it from a different angle. Normally the camera's right over here, and now it's right over here. So stuff that you normally don't see, you don't generally see this right here. Let me see if I can swing the camera over here. There it is. So there's my books. And this right here is a painting. It probably kind of hard to see it if you're watching, but it says Tough Guys, and that's the number 3. And what that is, that was a baseball team that we had back in 1987. And remember, I told you, I've got the same friends I had when I was a kid. And when this team here, the Tough Guys, was comprised of the guys that I grew up with, and my brother Chuck. We all grew up together. We would have our pickup baseball games, our pickup football games, and whatever during high school years. And in 87, we were playing, we put a team together. Of course, we called it the Tough Guys, and we played in a Latin American, or a Latin league, I should say. And so, good stuff. And we ended up taking the championship that year. They had 5 divisions, 52 teams, and we finished first out of 52 teams that season. We took the championship. We were champions of our own division, and then there was a round robin tournament with the winners of each division, and we won that as well. So it was cool. We had a good time. It was a great, obviously a great group of guys, great team, a lot of chemistry, But that number right there is for my friend Mike Dominguez, who passed away in 2019, and he was our second baseman. And I had asked my brother-in-law to paint this for me because when Mike passed away, I spoke at his services, and I wanted to have that on display. And I had made a mural with a bunch of pictures from when we were kids. Some of them when we were playing ball. Some were like my first wedding night, stuff like that. Or I should say, the night of my first wedding. Let me change that. Didn't come out right. So just all kinds of stuff. But stuff you don't see, stuff you don't normally see when the camera's over here. So I thought maybe I'll give it a different look tonight. And that's just headphones. There's another pair of headphones right there. Let me see if the camera gets over that far. Oh, yes, it does. Yeah. So, and then of course, you only see about that much of the bookshelf normally. Hey, there's Superman. What's up, dude? But tonight, you get to see all of it. Except right up on top, right there, right on top, there's my Kiss bobbleheads. That's from when they had their Arena Football League team, the LA Kiss. I was a season ticket holder the 3 years that they were in existence. And good stuff. It was good stuff. So I got bobbleheads. I'll clean out some of this stuff. And then let's do this. And then whatever books we have here as well. You guys know most of these books because I've talked about them, and I've talked about how much I want to read them. And some of them I've read, some of them I haven't. And, but, books from my friends, Pepper Ann and Rachel Thompson, Larry Reidy. And yes, they're not just friends. They're not just friends of the program. They're friends. We're friends. It's, they don't just come on the podcast and then that's it. Never hear from them again. Actually, I stay in touch with them. I text them, call them, whatever. And, I just think that people are special. And when you have special people on the show, and I can honestly say that every single guest that's been on the program for the nearly year and a half, very special people. And I would have every single one of them on again in a minute. All they have to do is let me know. Some of them I have, actually most of them, I think, or maybe all of them. Like I have their cell phone numbers or a way to contact them. But, I don't want to be that guy. And I like, especially like the musicians, like, Pauly Z or Adam Holland. I don't want to, just abuse that privilege. Jack Frost from Aldo Nova's band. I don't want to abuse that. So I just, send them a text every once in a while and kind of leave it at that. Hey, how's it going? Or whatever. And, usually they'll get back to me too. But like I said, I just don't want to be that guy that, hey, remember me? I got your number or whatever, we went to school together. You were on my podcast, that kind of stuff. I don't want to be that guy. So anyway, but yeah, that's it. That's what's going on. It's what's been happening this week. And if you have any interest in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame at all, start checking stuff out, start listening to the radio, television, whatever. check on this fan voting, see how that's going. And for fun, go on and vote for whomever you want, I'm feeling really strong about the nominees that I voted for. I'm feeling really strong about at least 6 of them getting in. So kudos to me, right? Anyway, so we're done. Okay. I appreciate you being here tonight. It is Friday night. Thank you so much for not calling, because I didn't have to take any Malort. So thank you for that. You got away with it. Whew. And if you don't believe me, you know, they have a website. Go order it. Go order yourself a bottle. It's not really expensive. Order yourself a bottle and try it. You'll agree. I'm not just making this stuff up. Anyway, yeah. So again, or to close, however you want to call it, this program is available wherever you get your podcasts. Whatever streaming service you're using, the Ben Maynard program is there. Search it, you'll find it. Do it. But tonight's Friday night and we're live. So if you're watching and you're getting a little bit of this over here, I appreciate it. Just do me a favor. Please subscribe to the channel. Okay, hit the notification bell. Give me a thumbs up and leave a comment. All right. Last but not least, follow me on Instagram, Ben Maynard Program, all one word. All right. So we're done. Thanks for telling 10,000 of your family and friends. I appreciate it. I really do. The numbers are coming in, man, and they are going through the roof. Please. Yeah, right. All right. So just tell 10,000 of your family and friends. Okay. Do that for me. All right. Get out of here. This is the Ben Maynard Program. Tell a friend.